We need a plan from this government. We need a date from this government about when these mandates end. And what we don't want to do, we don't want to rise from the House of Commons where we have the opportunity to hold them to account and go into a long summer where Canada is such an outlier in this. We have 4 or 5, potentially 6 million Canadians because of little kids who can't travel. That's unacceptable. We have lots of people who have lost their jobs. We have people that can't be reunited with their families, sick relatives, wanting to see somebody at the end of their life. What is happening in this country right now is cruel, it's unusual, it's vindictive, and it needs to end.
So here, Alexa, for Red News, and I'm still at the Sean Center. The event is wrapping up, and so I had the opportunity to see Melissa Lantsman, and I went to see her to ask her a couple of questions about a petition that she's endorsed recently. Canada is currently one of the few countries that still prohibit their own citizens from leaving their country based on their vaccination status. As if that wasn't enough, Air Canada employees who are currently not fully immunized against COVID-19 have received a letter informing them that they will be permanently laid off on May 2nd. Following my report on Air Canada, Serge Elina, president of the Air Canada Quebec Employee Union, contacted me to inform me of a petition he has submitted to Parliament in Ottawa. The petition E3934 has been endorsed by Melissa Lantsman. For the people who don't know Melissa Lantsman, she's the Conservative MP for Thornhill. Let's check out my interview with her. Recently, I talked with Serge, and you're the one from the Conservative Party who take the petition against the vaccine mandate and the people who lose their job and in the aeronautic. Can you explain why you take the decision to put the petition at the Ottawa Parliament?
Yeah, look, I think, first of all, one of our jobs is to represent those who don't feel represented and those whose voices aren't being heard. And I think in the case of these mandates, I think they're outdated. I think they're ineffective. And at this point, I think they're vindictive. And I wanted to give Serge a voice. And I have the opportunity to do that. And I wanted to make sure that nobody would lose their job in this country because of a decision they made. The government can't do that.
And what are you going to do with the petition afterwards? Because I think it's just done, it's closed.
So I'm going to present the petition in the House of Commons. I've presented some around this issue before. As you know, you might know, I'm the transport critic, so it falls within my portfolio. It falls within something that's I'm interested in, and I've stood up in the House of Commons on an almost daily basis, trying to understand what evidence the government's looking at, when they got that evidence, and whether they table that evidence. Because right now, it's all one big secret about why this country is so far behind other countries.
It's been 48 hours that the government went from doing nothing to a national emergency. 48 hours into using the measures. 48 hours without providing Parliament with a justification. So my question is simple. When will the Prime Minister admit that he's lost control of the situation, that he's lost control of his country, that he's lost control of his caucus, and that he's lost control of his leadership?
Some people are losing already their job, not for Air Canada, but some other company. Do you have any plan or any action that you want to do for the next couple of months?
Yeah, look, I think we need a plan from this government. We need a date from this government about when these mandates end. And what we don't want to do, we don't want to rise from the House of Commons where we have the opportunity to hold them to account and go into a long summer where Canada is such an outlier in this. We have 4 or 5, potentially 6 million Canadians because of little kids who can't travel. That's unacceptable. We have lots of people who have lost their jobs. We have people that can't be reunited with their families, sick relatives, wanting to see somebody at the end of their life. What is happening in this country right now is cruel, it's unusual, it's vindictive, and it needs to end.
This party in the federal parliament has been fighting vaccine mandates. We've been fighting the ridiculous rules around travel. Melissa Lantsman, sitting in the audience here, has been an amazing member of parliament fighting this every step of the way. And she does it with respect. She does it with respect. She's effective. And she eviscerates the Liberals every day. And she does it with grace and style. We can do that. We can do it. Melissa Lantsman's the example.
And what is your thought about the Freedom Convoy who came to Ottawa?
Look, in terms of, it's very hard to ignore the frustration of individuals who feel like they've had their livelihoods taken out. And we want to know that we are listening. That said, in terms of those who break laws, we're the party of law and order and rules. So you can't block critical infrastructure, and you can't commit things that are against the law. But in terms of the Freedom Convoy, I want them to know that there is one party in that House of Commons who hears them, who will continue to fight for their rights.
And just for finishing, for all the leader that are putting their candidate for the leadership race, do you have one favorite, or are you or more on their side?
I have the benefit of sitting on our interim leadership team. Mm-hmm. As a result, we're staying neutral. But in the past, I've had a long time relationship with Pierre, and I think everybody has done a good service for our party. We're growing our memberships. We're sending our message. Our numbers are going up, and I love to see a good race where we talk about ideas.
So it will be interesting to see how the race will play out, and especially for the two other debates that's coming up, the French one and the English one. As Rebel News, we will try to be there to cover it for you guys. So please stay tuned for more to come. If you are interested to see everything about the leadership race for the Conservative Party, visit our webpage, leadershipreport.ca. And on this website, you can see all our report, and as well, you can donate for our journalism. Thank you.